Welcome everyone. People coming into the room. So nice to, I guess I wish I could say we could see you, but we can't see you, but we're so glad you're here with us. I can see your name, so welcome. We'll take just a few seconds to let folks into the room and then we'll get going. This is awesome. It's so nice to welcome in new students to campus. And campus means a lot of different things right now to a lot of different people. So wherever you are, we're really pleased that you're here with us.
Sounds like someone's having a problem with audio.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Okay. Can't hear you guys. Interesting. Okay, it looks like the numbers of people filtering in is kind of steadied a little bit. So welcome. And this is the orientation for freshmen coming into biology. And if I can have the next slide, please, Brianna. And so I just want to do some quick introductions of who's in the panel here that will be talking with you today, and then we'll dive in. So I am Laura Burris, I'm professor and chair of biology, and I'm going to turn over to Blake Riggs to introduce himself, and then we'll go down the list.
Welcome everyone. I'm Blake Riggs. I'm associate professor of biology, also the associate chair of the department. And I'll move it on to Vance.
And I'm Vance Friedenberg. I'm a professor and associate chair of biology as well. And I'm really happy, like all of us are, to welcome all of you.
Hello, my name is Linda Chen, and I am a biology lecturer faculty, and I'm also the associate director of the Student Enrichment Opportunities Office.
Hi, I'm Brianna. You've probably heard from me in this past month or so. I am the undergraduate coordinator. So I'm kind of your go-to person for any questions while you're here in biology.
Yeah, and so I'll just have to chime in and say Brianna is awesome, and she's definitely your first point of contact. And to reach her, all you have to do is email her at biology@sfsu.edu, and she'll make sure that you get the answers and the help that you need. Okay, so I think we're going to start it off with a little poll here, and I'm curious, you know, this is a strange and crazy year. It's been a crazy year and a half, and we're kind of in different places, but we're just curious how you're feeling about the start of school. So I'm launching a poll here and just want to check in with you to see how it is. You're freshmen. Okay. Awesome. All right, we've got most of you weighing in. 5 more seconds. Very good. Okay, I'm going to end the poll and I'll share the results with you. So we got, hopefully you can see that, we got a few jitters for sure. That's kind of the most of you, which is totally understandable. It's a big transition from high school to college. We're going to make this as smooth as possible. And I think you're going to find that we have just really welcoming faculty and staff, and that we're here to help and get you the answers you need. And on top of that, you're going to find each other as amazing colleagues. And so whether you're in person or online, you're going to find ways to interact with each other. And these are the people that you're going to be with for the next 4, 5, 6 years, however long it takes. And we welcome that. Some of you totally stoked, awesome, pretty chill. And then there's a few that are very anxious. We get it, and we're gonna help. And one of the things that I want to say is, regardless of whether if you're in person, we're going to keep things safe. And so, and if at any point the San Francisco Department of Public Health says nope, then we just pull back to online and we do the safe thing. SFSU has been very conservative, and I tell you that we're going to be very safe about how we do things. So I'm going to stop sharing, and then I think we have one more poll for you. let me see if I can find that. So the next question, just so we get a sense of who's with us today, is are you planning to attend any classes in person? Do you have any face-to-face classes, or are you all online? Okay, 5 more seconds. We'll get up to almost everybody. All right. But this is great. So the vast majority of you are planning to have at least one class in person, which I think will be really nice for you to actually meet some of your professors and your fellow students in person. For those of you completely online, we still have ways to get to know each other. And so one thing we really want to encourage is in classes, you'll often end up in breakout rooms, and you have to make sure to talk to your colleagues. This is going to be really important in terms of feeling like you're connected to campus. And so show your image, be there, present, and talk to people, and you will find that you start to feel connected. And we'll talk at the end about more ways to be connected on campus. Okay, so I think I'll turn it over to Vance now.
Oh, Vance, you're muted.
Sorry, you think I'd know how to do this by now. I just wanted to say bienvenidos a todos, los que hablan español. Quiero decirles que estamos muy felices de tenerlos todos aquí con nosotros. For those of you, we just want you all to know that we really are welcoming you. And we're going to be, so biology is situated in the building called Hensel Hall that you see here. It's on the northwest corner of campus. And this is really, this is where we all work, and the majority of the classes in biology are given in this building, but not all of them. You will be asked to enter on the second floor. So that's one thing to remember. And then the second thing to remember is the biology, the Department of Biology, the office is located on the 5th floor. And so if you have questions, that's probably the first place to go in terms of being a biologist. Many of you probably have questions about how classes are going to work. Anytime you're in the building, or any building at SF State for that matter, you're going to be asked to be wearing a mask. So whether you're just walking in the halls, going to the bathroom, sitting in your lectures or labs, you'll be wearing a mask the whole time. And those of you who you've all by now, I'm sure, uploaded your vaccination status. And if for whatever reason you weren't able to do that, there will be on the first few days of class, there will be a mechanism for you to be able to get a badge. There'll be tables set up outside the buildings, and you can talk to people sitting at those tables, and you will get a special, literally like a badge, a sticker that you can then show to professors so that they can add you back to your classes. Blake, I think Blake wanted to say a few things.
Yeah, just a couple of things. And again, welcome everyone. Excited to have you here. That first of all, masks are going to be important. I have mine right here. I can throw it on real easy. Couple positives, because we are all those negatives about masks. I'm going to give you a couple positives about masks. First of all, if you have to yawn, you don't have to cover your mouth anymore. The mask is on. Second thing is everyone looks more beautiful with mask on. I don't know what it is, but I walk around, I see everyone with mask, and I'm like, wow, everyone's more pretty. And then the final thing I'll just say, if you're feeling sick at all, if you're unsure, it is okay to stay home. Want to encourage people that if you're under the weather, go ahead and stay home. Let your instructors know. Your instructors understand to be flexible about attendance and everything else. But please, we got to stay vigilant during these times.
Cool. So I'll be going through some slides just to give you kind of like general points for biology. If you do have any questions, feel free to put them. There is a Q&A box that should be on your screen. Feel free to write your questions there throughout the whole presentation. And we'll get to like all the questions at the end, because I'm sure a lot of you have similar questions. So we'll start off with biology majors. So we have our Bachelor of Arts, which is a BA. General biology is our only one that falls under that. And then the rest are Bachelor of Science. So we have a lot of concentrations, and they have shifted a little bit. So we're going to go over those. So we're going to go over our old BS concentrations versus the new. So old, they were technically 2020 to 2021, which was last academic year. But a lot of you, when you were accepted and you went into your biology major, probably you saw these requirements. But recently over the summer, new requirements were put in place. And so now you should be under these new 2021 to 2022 academic year requirements. So as you can see, a lot of the unit requirements have changed. So general biology, it's the same. But for our BS concentrations, our biggest change is, so we used to have botany, ecology, and zoology. For those of you coming in this year, we still have those. So you can remain under those, but eventually they're going to be moved under ecology, evolution, and conservation biology, which is EECB. So they're all the same requirements, it's just the name is going to change. And so cell molecular biology, that has changed to 60 units instead of 68. Microbiology, 60 compared to 68. And physiology, kind of similar, 59 to 67 units. So those have shifted a little bit. If you're wanting to change your major, so to a different major, say you want to go to physiology to cell and molecular biology, you can totally do that. You'll just have to fill out an online change in major form. The link is here. Don't feel like you need to write all of this down. I will send out this PowerPoint to everyone so you have access to all the links. And then you want to see an advisor to go over all the major requirements and to approve of your request. If you are one of those majors, the botany, zoology, ecology, and you want to change your major title to the EECB, you don't have to. A lot of people I think would want to stay with their zoology as opposed to EECB. But if you want to change it, you'll have to go through this process as well. We have other programs of interest. So we have a program called PINK, which is Promoting Inclusivity in Computing. You can find more information at that link. And then we also introduced a new climate change certificate. So you can do that while you're doing your undergrad. It's an additional 12 to 18 units. More information is there as well. You can fill out a really quick survey to show your interest, and then you will be getting more information. So a lot of you might be wondering how to find your online classes. You'll want to check your SFSU email. Always check your SFSU email. That's where everything is going to come through. We won't be using your personal emails. So just make sure you're familiar with it or you've linked your SFSU email to your personal email account so you get everything. Online classes are done through iLearn. So there's the login there, really easy, ilearn.sfsu.edu. Mostly all of your class materials will be located there, and that's where all the assignments will be done. If you have any questions or if you haven't gotten your iLearn information yet, please email your instructor. So how to crash a class. This might be relevant to a lot of you. I've gotten a lot of emails about this. So crashing a class is basically going into a class that you're interested in, but it's full, so you weren't able to enroll. You'll want to email the instructor for more information about the ad process. But what you really want to do is attend the first day of class. So for online classes, you'll want to email the instructor for a Zoom link so that you can attend the first day of class and not miss anything. And for face-to-face classes, just show up to the class, of course, with a mask. And just to emphasize, this is not rude. If you really want to get into that class, you need to be persistent. So you really need to show up on that first day. how to get connected. So like I said, your SFSU email is super important, not just for biology, but just for all campus communications. So make sure to link it up to your personal email. Read Our Bio News is delivered to your email weekly. If you haven't been getting emails from me at biology.sfsu.edu, please email me, and I'll make sure that you're on our listserv to make sure that you are getting all communications. Talk to your colleagues. So talk to your peers, talk to your, if you have students, assistants, TAs, your professors, instructors, everybody. You'll want to join clubs if you can. We have a lot of clubs, BSTEM, SACNES, WISE. You can find more information on our website. Another great resource is our website. It just got revamped, so it's really easy to find a lot of our resources on there. SF Build is a great place on campus, and it can provide you with possible funding opportunities. And you'll also want to join our SFSU Gator Connect, and it can hook you up with mentorship and opportunities with alumni. And sometimes there's companies on there as well that post certain things. And another great resource, I'm going to pass it off to Linda, and she will talk about SEO with you guys.
Hi, everybody. I'm going to talk about the Student Enrichment Opportunities Office, SEO for short, and we have a QR there if you want to go visit our website very quickly. So the SEO office actually houses a number of scholarships for students in the Department of Biology and the College of Science and Engineering. And so we do provide funding. So we provide tuition, depending on the funding you're on, tuition, a monthly stipend, or even funds to go to a conference. And to the right of that picture there, these are all our students and professors in Hawaii. I missed that one, but those are the opportunities that will be available to you, okay? We also have a lot of professional development colloquiums and workshops to help you gain some research opportunities, like working in a professor's lab. We also are well connected with the clubs that Brianna just mentioned. SACNES and BSTEMs are our partners in the Student Enrichment Opportunities Office. And we've created a very nice community. You'll be known as an SEO scholar. And there's a lot of people that you can actually contact for information or advice. We have a lot of peer mentoring. And so you'll be put into a community where you could reach out to other students for advice and faculty members for advice. Next slide, please. And so one of our sponsors is Genentech, the Genentech Foundation. So we've been awarded a large grant from Genentech Foundation to provide scholarships for students. And that's not the only funding we have. We do have federal funding and other companies and foundations that have actually granted us money to provide scholarships for students. And these are some of the requirements. The student must be accepted to SFSU. And the scholarship applications are on the SEO website, and they're due every year around March. So keep an eye out for them. And there's our website again. And if you would like more information about our scholarships, please email us at seo@sfsu.edu. And we actually have weekly office hours. So if you go to the SEO website, there's a Zoom link. I can't remember what date it is, but there's a Zoom link where you could go to office hours and someone from our staff will be there to answer any questions that you have. Now, all these announcements will be posted in the bio news letter that Brianna mentioned that will be emailed to you weekly on Friday. But another place to look for opportunities would be our Instagram site, which is hashtag SFStateStemConnect. And I could put that on, Brianna, where should I put that?
I can add it to this slide.
Okay, so it's hashtag SFStateStemConnect. And I would highly recommend that you apply for our scholarship. The committee is very good at reviewing every single scholarship, and we will help you, be placed in the right scholarship.
And I'll just say out loud about the scholarships that, you know, some people are like, oh, maybe I'm not that good a student. Maybe I shouldn't apply. We really want everybody to apply. This is more about potential than accomplishments. And so these scholarships are for everybody.
Yes, very good point, Laura. And so Dr. Megumi Fuse, who's the director of the SEO program, she likes to say, we don't look at just GPA. GPA is just one aspect. It's not a big thing for us. We want to see potential more than anything else.
All right, great. Thank you, Linda. And I will pass these couple slides over to our associate chairs.
All right, thank you, Brianna. So thinking about like right now you're coming in some ways, when you start off at a brand new school, you have a clean slate, right? And you're coming in and say, well, how can I be successful? And one of the things, the top thing you can do is find a good advisor. It is important to get advising. If you go to the biology website, there is a link there that tells you all about advising, has FAQs, frequently asked questions, and can link you up with an advisor that'll help you select classes. But more importantly, think about, why are you here? What's the next steps for you in your career? A lot of times you're coming in, you're thinking one thing, but you get here at the university, you learn more, you're exposed to more, and things expand. And then you move into a different direction. I started out when I was a freshman as a marine biology major, and now I'm a cell biologist. Things change, right? Again, make friends in classes and get into study groups. This is, I would say college is much different than what you had experience in high school. Like sometimes in high school, you can get by, hey, I'm just gonna study on my own. I'll go to the library, I'll knock it out. In college, it is really about the community, right? You form study groups, make friends. These are your peer mentors. This is one of the most successful things you can do. Another thing is, don't be afraid to ask for help or resources when you need them, and talk to as many people, because all of us here are here to help you. I say this to my students all the time. I didn't get into this job not to help people graduate. I want to see you guys be successful. We need you to be that next generation of scientists, or doctors, or dentists, or veterinarians, whatever your heart desires. Don't be shy, reach out to us. If there's an issue, also, it's not just as with classes, financial, health related, things like that, we can help. And when you're in those online classes, I think it is so important to participate in Zoom breakout groups. A lot of times we'll go into classes and thinking, okay, yeah, we just got to get a grade. I got to get the best grade and graduate. Well, a lot of times is you want to do the best thing for success. And the best thing for success is communicating, is engaging. And when you engage in the class, that's how you become successful. So these things are the best way, and these are only top 5. I'm gonna pass it to Vance. He's gonna take you through the next 5. But these are some of the tips that we think are important for success. And it's not just us. These are actually what students have come back and told us that has been successful for them.
Okay, so great. Thank you, Blake. I would just reiterate that, yeah, it's really important, I think, that you communicate with people and don't just take courses without thinking about where you're going on this. You know, really think, like if you think you want to go to med school, like make sure that you actually like that kind of work. You know, go volunteer outside of campus and try it out. I started out as a medical student, and I realized someone asked me, well, have you ever worked in a clinic or anything? And I hadn't. So my freshman year, I worked in a clinic, and I turned blue in the face every time I saw a needle puncture someone's arm. So I got out of that, and I found something that I really like. So this is your chance to really think about what it is that you really want to do, and you don't have to figure it all out at once. But I think And I'll go through this in a second, but just remember that a lot of these top 10 tips, this is advice that we got from students like yourselves that were here before you. So it's pretty good advice. The other thing to remember is it's really important as a biology major to get going on those core curriculum classes early on. Don't wait to take your intro classes. Take that intro bio class, take the chemistry class, take the math class. You may not want to take it all at once, that's fine, but don't put things off in terms of your coursework. Start doing the foundational courses so that you can really figure out what you like as you get above those. So number 6 on the top 10 list was don't doubt yourself, because you can definitely do it. That's true. Don't doubt yourself. You got to really try and believe in yourself. And as I already kind of talked about, number 7, plan out your classes every semester. Don't wait to figure it out as you go, because it's a big, busy university. There's tons of stuff going on, and it's really easy for you to lose track. So if you're a biology major, you're going to be a biology major, try to figure out as soon as you can, like which sections of biology you really like. What's cool is that a lot of the majors in biology, you need the same foundational courses, 230, 240, Bio 230, Bio 240. You need those courses, so get going on those as soon as you can. Don't worry about failure. We all face failure. We can all bounce back. And that's part of, like Blake was saying, build yourself into, be a part of the community here with students, with faculty, as much as you can, so that when things do go wrong, you have someone to talk to help solve those problems. You really have to stay after things. Don't give up. The first 2 years are really hard because you're in this brand new place. There are tons of people. There's a lot going on, and we have this pandemic going on. There's all kinds of issues going on, but we're here to help you. And don't be shy about asking for help. Okay. And just remember that get to the end here. Biology really is an amazing field of study. It's beautiful. There's so much going on. From just in our department of biology, we have people that work on everything from cell signaling to climate change and ocean sciences, all kinds of stuff going on within our department. So find the niche that seems interesting to you and really go after it, and always ask questions. Keep after it. And if you're having trouble with grades, ask for help. The worst thing you can do is not talk to anybody and not try to ask for help if you're having trouble. And again, like find other students that are in your classes and reach out to them and learn how to work together. It's really important. But just remember, like all of us, faculty, staff, we're all here to try to help you guys gain an education. And if the people that are here, we care about this. So just remember that and come knocking on our doors. And if we're not available, come back again. Don't give up, because we're here to try to help you all. I'll stop there.
Okay, so another thing that's very important that a lot of you already reached out for me. How to find an advisor. So there are 2 different advisors that you'll probably be talking to throughout your academic career here. So for general education or university-wide requirements for your first year, so for all of you here for your first year, you should already have a advisor assigned to you from the Undergraduate Advising Center. If you don't, please go to their website for more info. You should be able to find it there. And then after your first year, you'll be using the COSE, College of Science and Engineering Student Success Center. They have COSE specific advisors there that will help you with your general education requirements. For biology advising, we do have major specific advisors. We do not assign these advisors to you, so you can meet with whoever you want to. You can change it up throughout your time here, or you can stay with the same one, whatever you want to do. And today we do have special advising. It's going on right now throughout the rest of the day. So feel free after this webinar to go ahead and talk with an advisor. Their advising hours are on our website under advisors. And then we will have regular office hours for the fall starting on Monday. So if you have questions, please go to our advising page and try to set up an appointment with an advisor. Some advisors will be on campus. That will be indicated on the page as well, but they'll all be able to help you virtually as well. Here's some additional resources. Feel free to take a picture. And again, I will be sending this out to you guys so you have access to all these links. Again, biology advisors really is like our best resource. So definitely take advantage of that resource as much as you can. Our biology website, we have so many things listed on there. Research opportunities are, a lot of our faculty do research on campus. So we have those links there. We have all of our undergrad programs, advising. If you're interested in grad programs, you can learn more about our grad programs there. Don't get too ahead of yourself, but just if you want to explore all of those. Again, including with our climate change certificate, we also have a climate HQ. So more information about climate change things going on campus. Again, information about different biology concentrations, that's all located on our website. Financial aid is probably something that a lot of you are interested in or want to use. So going to the financial aid website, they have financial aid and also they have information on scholarships. So good resource there. SF State Dream Resource Center, please check them out if that does apply to you. And then of course we have our counseling and psychological services. So feel free to use any of these resources. And again, I'll send these out to you guys. All right, so before I go to questions, if any of our panelists want to add anything else, feel free. But it looks like we have some questions to answer. So we can get started on those. Let's see. So it looks like we do have some questions related to pre-health and pre-med, which is a big question that we get a lot. So we can go through some of those. So our first question here, would a BS in cellular and molecular biology be best suited for going into dentistry?
Who do you want to chew on that?
Whoever wants to chew on
Okay.
that one.
Well, I'll pipe in then. So for pre-med and pre-health, including like pre-veterinarian, pre-pharmacy, pre-dentistry, there's no one correct major. We really encourage you to go down the major that really excites you the most. And so in any majors, you're going to get the vast majority, in any biology major, you'll get the vast majority of your prereqs met in the major. But it's going to be really important to look at the schools you're hoping to apply for. Each school is different, so there's no one major that's going to follow every school's requirements. You're going to need to make a list of all the schools you want to apply for, get all their requirements, and then you may have to take some extra courses regardless of which major you're taking. But the vast majority of the courses will be covered in any of our majors. And so all of our biology advisors have some pre-health ability to advise for pre-health majors, but we also offer a course called Sci 239. So Sci SCI is like science 239, and it's taught by Armand Kirakosian, who is a podiatrist, and so he is in the profession, and it's a course entirely on pre-health professions to introduce people to different professions, to talk through the application process and getting ready process and all of that. And so it's a terrific course that if you want really more intensive help and advising with that, thinking about that, we encourage you to take that course. Brianna, do you have anything to add to that? And also where you have webinars about pre-health advising. And we don't know our next date, but we will be holding a pre-health advising webinar. And there's old webinars that you can access on our website that have some terrific information about the application process.
Yeah, I would just emphasize the fact that you don't have to go down a certain path. For a lot of like pre-med and pre-health, they want you to just know like a variety of things. So like I've heard of like people going in pre-med that like did English or something, just as long as you have the prerequisites done of what they're looking for. That's the main thing, but they want you to have like a variety of knowledge. So don't stress out too much about your exact major. And then a related question, does SFSU have advisors that would help students who are interested in medicine and pre-med? Right now we don't. I know they're working on a pre-med, pre-health website that will just have a lot of resources. But a lot of our advisors, they do have a little bit of training that we provided to them about pre-med, pre-health. So feel free to just meet with your major advisor and just let them know like what you're kind of looking into and the path that you want to go down, and they can definitely help you out.
Yeah, and then the Sci 239 class would be like an in-depth advising course almost.
Yeah, yes. Let's see. A question. Oh, I lost it. More questions are coming in. How do I find opportunities for jobs or work study kind of things within the biology department? Is that even an option?
I could address that a little bit. So look at Bio News, that the weekly newsletter that's going to be sent out to you. So every time I get an opportunity from a company, I send it to Bio News, and it's posted on that site. And also I encourage you to actually join our Instagram. Again, hashtag SF State STEM Connect. And we post internships, mentorships, jobs on that website. I mean, on that Instagram site.
And we also have, various faculty that are looking for student assistants to do things, and these positions are called SA positions. And so you'll see them advertised in the hallway if you're on campus, but you'll also see them advertised in this Bio News. It's an email that you'll get every Friday with a whole, and you have to read the whole thing. It's like a scroll down through it, but all the various opportunities that are there will be in that email. So do check your SFSU email.
Yeah.
Or reroute them to your regular account.
Yeah. And also reach out to professors. That's how I got my first lab experience. I emailed a professor and asked if I could work in their lab. And then one professor said yes. And that's how I got my first lab experience.
Okay. I'll answer this one here. It says some of my classes are not on iLearn yet. Should I be worried? No, you shouldn't be worried yet. Instructors do have until I think the first day if they want to post their iLearn by then. I would assume that they're going to post things this weekend. So no, don't be worried. It will be posted. If come Monday, if it's really not on there and you're not worried, please, you can email me, biology.sfsu.edu, and I can check in to see what's going on, but no, don't be worried.
Yeah, you can also email your instructor if it's not up by the first day of class. But a lot of people, instructors like everybody else are deadline driven, so things are going to happen this weekend.
Let's see, I can do this one as well. I would really like to double major. Do I have to declare it or just work for the credit needed? So it depends on what do you want to double major in. Just to clarify, you can't have 2 majors in biology, but as long as you're doing biology and something else, feel free. It is a lot more work, but logistically to declare it, you'll just have to go through the same change of major steps that are listed earlier in this slide. The link is there. And then you'll just request to have a double major. But I would recommend talking to both advisors, so talking to your biology advisor and then whatever major you're trying to add, talk to them as well, just so you know what is really required and the workload. But yes, you can double major and then you would just request it like a normal change of major request.
I'm gonna chew on it. Sorry, I'm gonna pipe in real quick. There's a couple of questions in chat that I'm gonna chew on. Do you have to take biology 231 in your first semester? It's great if you can, but if not, then definitely in your second semester. I'd like students to get that course in their first year because it'll be a great way to orient yourself to the department and get to know your advisor a little bit better. So either the first or second semester. And the second question, which I don't know the answer to, is there a tutorial on how to use iLearn? Does anybody know? Blake.
Yeah, I just answered that. If you go to academic technology, there is a help with iLearn and they have videos and tutorials on how to use iLearn.
Perfect. Because iLearn, for those of you who don't know, it's kind of the classroom module. It's where all of the classes will put their course materials. So they'll have their syllabus, they'll have all the contact information for the instructor, and quizzes and information and the notes and the PowerPoints from the your class, and just everything you'll need is there in that kind of iLearn space. And so if you haven't already done so, I would encourage you to log into iLearn. It's ilearn.sfsu.edu, and just log in and kind of poke around a little bit. You should see the classes that you have that have been activated by the instructor will show up. Those that haven't been activated won't be there until probably the first day of classes. But go ahead and log in and check it out. And some of you will have used similar things like Google Classroom and that sort of thing. I think iLearn's a little more powerful, I would say, than Google Classroom, but it's a very intuitive and easy to use tool.
I have a couple here. I'm going to throw it to Vance or Blake. They have to do with vaccination. So there's a couple questions saying they've only had 1 dose. Are they allowed to attend their in-person classes yet?
I don't actually know the answer to that. Do you know, Blake? I would guess you would be able to, but I'm not sure.
I'm not 100% sure on that. I believe so, but I would say that definitely check on myhealth.com on the university's website. They'll have more information on that. There will also be what are called ambassadors around campus if you're coming in person, and you'll see tables around campus, and they'll have a bunch of information about adding classes and about the vaccination requirements. They will be able to help you there.
So I just looked online. It says as long as you upload proof of your first dose by August 13th, which was a week ago, and then come back and upload your second dose vaccination in MyHealth, you will not be dropped from your in-person classes. So what happens if it was after August 13th? I'm not sure. But for the week of August 23rd through September 24th, you'll have to do weekly COVID testing until you're fully vaccinated. And so proof of the second dose must be updated by September 10th. So here, I'll put this link into the chat, or into chat.
Let's see. I'm majoring in biology, physiology. Is that a good start for the nursing program? So we do have a lot of students interested in the nursing program. Nursing it can be a little tricky. It's very impacted for the BSN. So you can apply. I'm not sure if you can apply as a freshman. Definitely check out their website. But physiology, it does, if you go through that major, like say you're not accepted into the BSN, that's totally okay. A lot of people aren't. You can stay in your physiology major and that will satisfy most, or I'll have to double check since some things have been updated, but that should satisfy the prereqs for the, I don't know if it's the MSN, but it's basically like the Masters of Nursing. It will satisfy those requirements. So that is a road that a lot of people take. Instead of doing the BSN, they just stay in their current major and then they do the Masters in Nursing. So yes, I recommend if you really do want to do nursing, stay in your physiology major. Apply if you want to the BSN when you're able to, but then at least you have your you'll have your physiology degree as a backup, and then possibly just do the Masters of Nursing later on. One I'll answer here says I have uploaded both vaccines, but it still says it's under review. Do I need to be worried? It depends on when you uploaded it. When I uploaded mine, it just got approved, and I uploaded mine about 3 weeks ago, and it just got approved. So as long as it's saying it's under review, you don't have to worry, because there's people that are actually going through and manually checking these. So it's going to take a while. So as long as you have uploaded it, it should be fine. So no, don't be worried. If it's really taking a long time, I would again look at that My Health website, and I think there's a contact you can contact through there. But yeah, as long as you've uploaded it, you're fine. Let's see. How many units are recommended for the first year as a physiology major? Anybody want to take on that one?
Yeah, I would kind of chew up that for any major, I mean, the average number of units is about 15. It can go from 12 to 18, but 15 is kind of in the middle. And it really depends on your life and your pace and that sort of thing. What's going to be the thing that helps you be successful? If you're working, you need to count those hours into your week and subtract the number of units you can take. So some people that have to work 20 hours a week, that's a half-time job. So then maybe you're not going to go to school full time, and maybe they take 6 years to graduate, and that's okay. The important thing is to set it up to be yourself up to be successful. We don't want you to get into a place where you're working and going to school and maybe doing caretaking in your family and not having enough time for anything. So I would say the 15 unit thing is kind of the starting point if you're not working. And then within the 15 units, you would only want to take 1 or 2 labs. You wouldn't want to take 3 or 4 labs because they're pretty time consuming. But you'd have to really talk through with your advisor if you have some other time constraints, because it's really easy to mess up a GPA, which is incredibly important for pre-health majors. It's much harder to dig your way out of it. And so we want to set people up to be successful from the get-go. Having said that, if you do mess up in 1 year, we can draw a line in the sand and you can kind of start over. It's not an end thing, but the best thing is to set yourself up to be successful from the start. And as Vance already said, it's important to start taking majors courses in the first year, especially even in the first semester. So even if you didn't get in, if you're not in Biology 230, then Chem 115 or Physics 111, then or a math course, something that you're going to have to take, because this is what will help keep you moving forward in the major.
Yeah, you don't want those piling up. You want to try to steadily take those courses so that you'll have more flexibility as you get into your upper division.
Yeah.
Years.
And the prerequisite structure is set up that some of them have to be taken sequentially. So if you take all your GE and university requirements first and leave the rest, well, they're sequentially, and you can't take them all in the last year or the last 2 years. It's just impossible. And so you really have to do it over the course of the 4 years.
Okay, question here. Is a physiology major a good path for physical therapy school? Does anybody know the answer to that one?
Sorry, which one were you on?
Is a physiology major a good path for physical therapy school?
Yeah, and so again, I would say for any pre-health major, including physical therapy, that any of the majors are great. A lot of pre-health majors love physiology, but they don't have to go there. But for physical therapy, I think one of the courses that can sometimes be required for PT schools is anatomy, and that certainly is included in the physiology major. But you can, especially with the new majors, if you choose to go that way, there's reduced number of units, so you can really get your major and then take the courses that you need as prerequisites for physical therapy school. So it gives you a lot of flexibility of how to do things.
Let's see. Is the degree planner recommended when choosing your classes? I'll let one of our advising faculty answer that one. Probably have experience with degree planner. Well, what I've heard, I think the answer to this is yes. So when you're choosing your classes, degree planner, I think it just kind of helps you streamline that process. I know a lot of our advisors use it with you when you are meeting with them, if you do need help choosing your classes. So yes, the answer to that is use the degree planner, because it will just like help you organize it. I guess your graduation introduction a little bit better.
The other, if I could add in, the other thing to keep in mind is that some of the courses may not be offered every single semester. So it's really nice to try to plan those things out. That's not the case with the lower division courses. They're usually offered every semester, but once you get up into the upper division courses in biology that are more specialized, we're so lucky to have these really cool courses where you learn, these really, you sort of focus in on different parts of biology, but they're not always offered every semester. So as an example, a lot of the courses where there's field work involved, like herpetology, ornithology, classes like that, they tend to stack up in the spring semester, because that's when animals and plants are more active in this area because of the rain, the way the rain comes. So that's just one example, but there are other examples as well where, if you plan it out a little bit ahead of time, you won't get surprised. You don't want to get surprised right at the end.
And I just there's a lot of questions about these two different majors, and I just want to point something out. So the old majors had more units, and so and the new majors have fewer units. What I want to point out is that the university still has the same number of units. So what it means is that there's less units in the major now, and then it really gives you some flexibility to explore courses that interest you. So maybe you are interested in ecology and evolution, but you also wanted to be a pre-med, then you can go up and fill out your university units by taking pre-med courses. It gives you some flexibility. And so, or you're interested in climate change, I want to take this course in earth and climate science, or I want to take a course in geography. And so it's not so much that you'll have fewer units, I think, in total, because the university units will stay the same, but it's giving you more flexibility to pursue things you like And we really live in what is increasingly an interdisciplinary world. And so this will give you the chance to explore things both inside biology, but maybe outside of your concentration, as well as outside of biology. And we hope that you'll take full advantage of that. And so it's not, will I learn more, will I learn less, and that sort of thing. You're gonna learn a ton, and it's just added flexibility.
Okay, we do have a couple of questions related to kind of screening on campus and the cards. Again, with uploading your COVID card or proof of vaccination, I would go back to that My Health where you uploaded it if you really are concerned about it. But as long as it's saying it's under review, I really don't think you have to worry about it. I think you'd have to worry if it said something like rejected or something like that. I think right now there's just a lot that are coming in. But if you really are concerned about it, I'm sure there's a contact you can reach out, probably through Student Health Services. So that would be my recommendation for that one. This one is, what does GHG, Ambassador the Green Dot Screening mean? Because you're not a resident on campus. I think we're referring to something that came out in an email. I'm a student as well, so I get the student emails as well. I have to go through, but I know the green dot screening used to mean that you would have to kind of go through a screening process before you would go in on campus. And then you would get this green dot saying that you were approved to come on campus. I'm not sure if that is still required now that we're doing the proof of vaccination uploads. The answer, Blake, do you guys know anything about that?
What I'm recommending people to do is go on, on your phone, for instance, and you can download the SFSU app, and there's more information on daily screenings on there that you would need to have. Also, there's going to be QR codes all around the university on buildings. You can scan those QR codes and they'll give you more information about any daily screening that you need to do. And if you do find yourself on campus, especially within that first week, again, there's going to be ambassadors around the campus at different tables that will help you understand anything that you need to do with COVID screening and vaccination uploads.
Let's see. This one says, I'm a microbiology major and I'm not seeing any microbiology advisors on the advising page. That is because it's not fully updated yet. There will be microbiology advisors, so just wait. We're trying to upload most of it today. So definitely by Monday, everything will be on there. So there will be microbiology advisors. So just wait until Monday and it should all be on there. Let's see, what are jobs under marine biology and where can I apply for internships involving this major?
I can answer that. So in marine biology, like many of these different majors, you'll be amazed how many different pathways there are for people in the sciences and biology. So marine biologists there's a ton of different stuff that marine biologists do. And my recommendation is, if you're interested in marine biology, go talk to one of our professors that does research in marine biology. Okay, so we have several. Karen Crow comes to mind. There's
Sarah Cohen, Kathy Boyer, Jonathan Stillman.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So you should go talk to these people, because they're going to be able to give you the best advice, and they'll tell you their pathway of how they got there. So, I mean, the short answer is there's a big answer out there. There's a lot out there in terms of what you could do. So I know that's may not be the best answer for now, but I would recommend talking to those folks.
Okay. And then more things about screening. We have, thank you, anonymous attendee. Says they believe online screening is done before going into any building. You have to show your green approval. I would recommend going back and looking at that email. I believe it came from the president. so our school president, Lynn Mahoney. And it should have instructions. So if this is the case, how we do it is there is an app that you can download, and then you can do your daily screenings through there. It's super easy if that's what you guys have to do. I'm not 100% sure on the daily screenings, but I will go back and reference that email from the president.
I can help answer that too. There's a
Okay.
website, and I'll put it in the message for everyone here. If you go to that website, it'll tell you everything you need to know about screening, coming on the campus, uploading your vaccination status, all of that. It does say in there that you will have to be screened every day prior to coming in on campus. And that means either through the app or the QR code.
Great, thanks, Blake. What is the difference between cellular and molecular biology and microbiology?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. I think it's really depending on the classes that you're really interested in. There are different classes you would have to take for the major. Microorganisms, microbiology is a focus on understanding microorganisms. Cell and molecular biology is focused more on understanding cells and how cells interact and form tissues, things of that nature. I would just recommend, you can always go talk to an advisor, but just look at the classes within that major and just see if those classes are interesting to you. And if you like those classes, take them and do that major. If you like the other classes, take them and do that major. For career-wise, I don't think there is much of a difference.
And I guess I would say that if I had to draw a line, and Blake can argue with me if he wants to, in cell and molecular biology, mostly eukaryotic cells. In microbiology, mostly prokaryotic, but there'll be some exceptions for other microbes that are eukaryotic. But there'll be some divisions about those things, but not entirely.
What about the archaea?
If Jose were here, he'd ask about them.
All right, I'm not seeing any other questions in the Q&A. We do still have time, so if you do have questions, please feel free to put more in there. I guess while we're waiting, I don't know if Laura, you want to make any kind of ending remarks?
Yeah, I hope that this has been helpful. This transition back to being on campus, you'll see that even we're kind of like, I'm not sure, go look at the website. We're all going to be learning. So there's going to be a lot of people wandering around campus going, I'm not sure what to do, but there's going to be people there to help you figure it out. And so don't be scared to ask people. And, everybody's there to help. We're just, I can't even, I'm going to cry when I think about going back on campus on Monday and the people there. It's been such a ghost town for so long. It's just going to be amazing. And the other thing is that we'll do our best to keep everybody safe. And so make sure you have those masks and just be good about them. Have them over the nose, not under the nose, because that's not going to help anybody. We're just delighted to have you on board. And so don't be scared of us. I'll tell you that everybody on this call goes on a first name basis. Most professors do. Just ask people what they want to be called. But we're your colleagues now. We're here to help you and just get to know us. I know it seems very scary, like I'm a chair and people are like, ooh, she's the chair and we don't want to talk to her, she's scary. And Blake's all scary too. And she's not, we're just not. And so, reach out and make some connections, particularly with advisors in your field, with other students in your field. The students that you're going to be here with, these are the students you're going to be here 4 to 6 years with, and they will be your colleagues forever. And so build those connections now, because it's an incredible group of students. You guys, you're just amazing. And when you get to know each other, you'll be just blown away. And we know people, that make lifelong friendships here. And so it's a big transition coming from high school to college, but it's also a really exciting transition. And we've got some really great stuff going on. And I think, you know, now more than ever is a great time to be a biologist. We've got worldwide health problems. We have worldwide climate problems. We need biologists. And so I hope that you can find that passion within yourself to be part of the solution and to connect back with your communities, because, you know, some communities are kind of underserved with respect to health or climate change issues. And so we really need you to be ambassadors back to your communities and to be carrying these important messages and doing this important work. So welcome aboard, and let's have some fun and really make a difference, I guess. I guess biology is, to me, about making a difference in our communities. Anybody else have anything to add?
There was just a question about the health screening that I can answer this quickly.
Yeah.
Some people said this is the first they've heard of it. The health screening is going to be helping for contact tracing. So they're really answering those questions that we've all had to answer in the past months. You know, have you come in contact with somebody? Have you traveled? All these kind of questions. It's not so labor intensive, and you do have to log on and answer the questions, and then you'll have on your phone clearance. And so you can look up more on this on the website, but it's very important to have this for contact tracing, as we are trying to keep everyone safe here on campus. And again, you can do this on your phone. So you can have a screen, either scan the QR code or go to the app. Again, you download the SFSU app. When you go to that, you log on. It says COVID-19 screening. You click onto that, and then you answer questions.
All right. So I'll answer. I know Brianna's typing an answer to this, but we can make appointments with advisors through the website, or we can decide to drop in anytime during available hours. So some advisors are only available online, and you would need to go to Zoom and drop in that way. Some advisors have indicated that they're available in person or online. But yes, you can drop in during their advising hours through either Zoom or in person, or you can email them in advance and just tell them, hey, I'm coming. I just want to give you the heads up. But all of those things should work. All right. Well, thank you all for coming. I look forward to meeting you. If you see me around campus, if you're on campus, say, hey, I came to the orientation. So nice to meet you. And for all of us, because it's been a long time since we've seen real students, except on Zoom. And so we're really looking forward to having faces and things that we can identify again, and not just black holes on a Zoom screen. And if you are only online, please we can't require it, but if you turn on your video, I promise that you're going to learn more, and your instructor is going to know you better and be able to write a better letter of recommendation and all of those things. So consider doing it. All right. Very good. I'm glad to hear it. So one of you said, I'm more excited than nervous now. That's perfect. That's what we wanted to hear. So little nerves are expected. You know, don't be kind of shy about that. Even I'm nervous on the first day of classes, and I've been doing this for years now. So it's okay to be nervous. We just have to work through it together, and just know that everybody's in the same boat. And so we'll figure it out. All right. Well, it's great to see everybody, and we'll see you on Monday.
Yeah.
All right. Bye-bye.